Hey everyone, welcome to group break number 263. Today we have a case of 21-22 Series 1 Hobby. Again, this is our 6th full case break of it, so we'll see how it fares compared to our other ones. I just kind of went through it on stream before, like what Young Guns we have hit and haven't hit, which ones have been our hardest to hit ones, and so we'll see if that trend continues over time. But without further ado, let's get underway. 3 times on the names, 3 times on the teams. Who you line up with is who you get. Good luck, everyone. And thank you for the fill on this tonight. Filled right before the break went live. So here we go. Once. Twice. Third time. There we go. And teams 3 times. Here we go. Good luck, everyone. Once, twice, and third time. Coyotes on the bottom, Jets on the top. The Battle of Winnipeg. Here we go. David, you've got the Jets. Marshall with Colorado. Emil with the Red Wings. Bryce with Chicago. Craig, you've got the Bruins. Bill, you've got the Oilers. Unfortunately, not the right product for them, but hey, you got your PC team. Michael with the Islanders. Craig with Columbus. Timothy with Florida. Dennis with the Canucks. Maxime with the Blues. Marshall with the Lightning. David, you got the Predators. Peter with the Sabres. David Budden with the Rangers. Maxime with the Flyers. Johnny with the Devils. Brandon, you have the Habs. Nice team there. Princeton, you have the Ducks. So there we go. The 2 teams right there back to back. Gabriel with the Capitals. Maxime with the Wild. Peter with the Flames. David with the Hurricanes. Brandon with the Senators. Debbie with the Vegas Golden Knights. Stuart with the Stars. David Budden with the Sharks. Gabriel with the Leafs. Kevin with the Kings. Bill, you've got the Penguins. And David Maynard with the Coyotes. So there are your teams. I will get them pasted over into the team viewer. I believe there's... Bill is asking if anyone wants the Penguins in a trade. NHL team viewer, that's what I want. There we go, save. Save. Final. Live, save, do. Team viewer. Yeah, you have the Sens and Habs. Those are, I mean, like, you're going to get cards. The Sens are ridiculously good at just getting cards. So that's the thing, right? Like, sometimes there's some teams like Buffalo where they might not have the highest end Young Guns, but you've just got enough good ones. So a couple minutes for trades, see if anything happens. But yeah. We'll see if our case results remain consistent. I think this might be... I'm trying to think. A different palette. From a different palette of cases. So maybe it's different. But yeah, like so far, I mean, I went through this. Honestly, the checklist that we've had the most consistent one with is... definitely, like, the checklist Young Gun, we've had 1 per case every case, and I am fine with that. Actually, been a while, we've had 2 per case every case, and Kyle Burrows as well. So those are our most consistent Young Guns. Our least consistent are Veleno, which doesn't actually make sense. Oh, I guess because it's average, not some, but no, that'd still be the same difference, yeah. Yeah, I guess. Oh, yeah, because Seekers we had the case with 3, but yeah. So we'll see if the numbered keeps up too, because our first 2 cases we only had 1 numbered card each. Our third one we had 3, then we had 2 and 2. So we'll see if it kind of stays in that 1 to 2 range. In previous years, it's been typically 1 Young Gun exclusives per case. We've only pulled 1 in. I want to say, like, I think we've done about probably few cases, but all right. I think we'll get started. There's no trades, so here we go. So let's have some fun. Like I said, hopefully this works out. Look at that. Again, if you're wondering why I'm opening up the case from the bottom, it's because this is a lot easier to get the boxes out. So there's the top. You won't be able to see that, but there's the top as well. So. There we go. All right, we're going to play the guessing game on the back serial number, so I'm going to try to not look at them. I'll point it away from. Here we go. Box 1, case 6, I guess. Here we go. 13 is the NHL serial number. The back number is going to be 64. One second. I just got to change up the garbage here. Almost forgot to do that. Basketball is pretty full. Here we go. What did I say? I think I said 64. Oh, it's 96. Would have been a good guess. All right, here we go. Again, rip and stack as per usual. It is extremely consistent, so here we go. Let's see. We haven't hit a day with the cup yet. I mean, it'd be nice to hit a Young Gun exclusives. We haven't hit one of those in a while. Honestly, I wish they were a little bit more common. Like, I get why they printed more if it was the case, because it just seems like numbered cards are harder to come by. It could have just been the cases that we had, so. Busy, if you have Twitter, just drop it in here, and I will write it down, and I can connect you to. Because Twitch DMs are kind of a little bit goofy at times, so I don't use them myself because they, for the most part, most of the messages that I get are weird. Oh, there we go. A Gretzky Day with the Cup flashback. I mean, I have one from last year's series one, but yeah, not this year. Yeah, you'd really want that today too. That'd be a cool hit. I will say I would be down for that. So here we go. Starting off, Colin for the Canucks on the Young Guns. Sorokin for the Islanders on the canvas. He looks like he's going to be the long-term goalie there. Andre, he had an incredible game for the Stars. Incredible game. Zegras on the honor roll for the Ducks. Spencer Knight on the Young Guns for Florida. Yeah, I picked up the Gretzky like when the product first released for really, really cheap. I built a box and for cheaper than box price. Zegras on the Dazzlers for the Ducks. That included a Jason Robertson Young Gun exclusives, the Gretzky Day with the Cup, Andre for the Stars, and I own one of those cards now. Kirby Doc for Chicago, Addison for the Wild. But I just sold the Robertson Young Gun exclusives. I think I'm gonna end up regretting that long term, but Svetch for the Hurricanes, considering everything. Norris for the Senators. I'm not super upset about it. Canvas Black of Point for the Lightning. So, that's honestly my favorite pastime with Series 1. And Series 2 is to give myself the price of a box and go out and essentially build as close to a box as I can get with the price of cards, and then see how I do comparatively speaking. Like, will I do better? Will I do worse? Yeah. It's fun. It's obviously you get to choose your cards, so you get to make like your choices, like pick your sleeper young guns. So for example, I went hard on Jason Robertson because I really liked him. Picked up the Gretzky. I picked up a couple autos, like a Vasilevsky auto. I don't know, it's fun. Like if you ever want to try like a different format to like a product release, that can be a fun way to do it. Like doing it within the first week too, because then you're in the excitement of the unboxing of the product as well. It's fun. And again, if you like to like speculate on young guns, it's generally one of the best times to do it. So version 1 for the Bruins, that for like the people you're really like bullish on, Stone for the Knights, and then like a few weeks into the product, once EPAC comes out, for like the other ones, Walcott for the Lightning, Crosby on the Portraits for the Penguins, Rantanen for the Avs, Joseph for the Penguins on the debut days gold, Ritzalainen for the Sabres, hang on, I'll get to that after this box. Bertuzzi for the Red Wings, Sorokin for the Islanders, Hellebuck for the Jets, be a French young gun. Nope. Dune for Chicago. Done. French of Kapanen for the Penguins. So, not a bad first box. So, if it's a program of excellence, or like a Team Canada card, it pretty much goes to, the rules for it are, if they're an active player, it's their current team. So it doesn't matter what year we open it up, it's whatever their current team is. It's just the easiest way to do that, because then you're not like, well, he released at this product at this point in time, so therefore he's this card. It's just whatever team he is, if he's an active player. If they're a retired player, it goes to most games played. And if it's the same thing, if it's like a old team, so if it's like the California Golden Seals, it'd go to, I didn't guess box number 24, and like it's 33. I wouldn't guess that. It'd go to whatever team it came to. I think the Golden Seals are the weird one where it's the Sharks, but yeah. So same with like old Winnipeg Jets cards would go to the Arizona Coyotes because it follows the franchise. But yeah. It should be in the FAQ. We'll go double check, make sure the FAQ is updated actually. So, because we have been doing hit drafts, so put the info for a hit draft in there. What's the one thing that I was really... jersey cards, right. That was one thing I was really keeping track of, because they're technically 1 per 96 packs, but we're hitting them at about 1 per 72, I think, or something like that. Yeah, we're hitting 5 per case rather than like the stated odds for about 4. So, but yeah, like it's fairly like standard stuff within the cards. Pretty much like, we do it the same way every single time. Because that's just how it's done, right? There's no, well, okay, this team's bad. Like, if there is ever an exception, it will be listed, but we'll try and keep very consistent to it. So, Malkin for the Penguins. Just because that way you know what you're purchasing into, right? Burrows for the Avs on the Young Guns. McKinnon for the Avs on the Portraits. Ferry for the Flyers. So, Kempe for the Kings. Pinto for the Senators. Jeannot for the Predators on the Young Guns. That's a good one. Yeah, the other weird one is Artifacts with the rookie redemptions. Any product that has like future rookie redemptions, it's essentially if there's a team logo, it goes to the team. If the checklist posted, it goes to the player listed then. And if there's nothing, then it's a random. Sorokin for the Islanders. Voracek for the Flyers. Miller for the Rangers. Kopitar for the Kings. Hauser for the Sabres. So it's meant to be straightforward and, you know, common sense, I guess. The only problem is sometimes the checklists don't get updated right away. That was mainly an issue with chronology and OPG. Actually, OPG from last year as well, because they had the 3 Easter eggs, and that checklist never got updated. Like, the cards are live, and it's just like... It's frustrating when the checklist doesn't get updated, because it'd be helpful, right? But chronology in particular, you could trace out, like, what one was 1, 2, and 3. So, you just went by it once, like, it's unofficially official, as I like to call it. So typically we'd wait for an official checklist, but like at a certain point when every single card's live and there's no official checklist for a while, you just gotta go with like what is actually known. So, because I mean, I've seen all the redemptions and the people that had the redemptions and what they turned into because they kept track of them. Alright. Here we go. Second half of the next, or second half of box 2. Marner for the Leafs. Miller for the Rangers. McDavid for the Oilers. We'll put the McDavid up there. Joshua for the Blues. Swayman for the Bruins on the Dazzlers. Yossi for the Predators. Murray for the Senators on the canvas. Theodore for Vegas. Yeah, that was one card. Byfield for the Kings on the honor roll. Kupari for the Kings on the Young Guns. French variation of Natchez for the Hurricanes. And Dumba for the Wild on the canvas. So pretty tame box too. But we got a Jeannot. He has eluded us in previous breaks, so. Actually, we haven't pulled him in a long time. Like, legitimately, I think the last time that we pulled him would have been our last full case break. Or maybe we didn't even pull him then, but. Alright, box 92, let's go with. What's that back number gonna be? I'm gonna guess it is 26. Oh, it's 5. Honestly, Canucks just need everything. They need defensemen, bro. They really need defensemen. And, like, good puck-moving defensemen on the right side. They need a... They need a couple more play drivers. I think you can rely on Pettersson and Hoglander for that enough over the next little bit. I think you honestly, like, you try and find someone to take JT Miller. Don't get me wrong, he is a very, very good player. It's just they're gonna be in a cap crunch, and I don't think you can afford, you know, the 5th, 6th, 7th years that JT Miller is gonna get. Especially because he's turning 30, you know. I'd love for the Canucks to pick up Fiala. I think, you know, if you can find a way to do Miller for Fiala type of thing and take the contract that everyone's giving to Miller to Fiala, I think that'd be a real good fit. Or if you can send Besser there or something, but Fiala would be a good target. Honestly, I saw, like, someone mentioned that Ehlers might be available in Winnipeg, and, like, if that is the case, all in for Ehlers. Very, very good player. But, like, Fiala would be the #1 target for me for Vancouver. Just because Minnesota's really in a tight situation. He's an RFA, and you might be able to get him on a discount. So, Garland for the Yotes. I'd also like to see them keep Garland. Cousins for the Sabres, because he's done fine. Like, Malcolm for the Penguins. He hasn't been great. He hasn't been bad. He's been as expected. Zohorna for the Penguins. So, Marner for the Leafs. And he's doing, like, 5v5, and he's, like, crushing his 5v5 minutes. So, Heponiemi for the Panthers. Again, another good play driver. A guy who can play up or down in your lineup, depending on where you want him to. So, Teravainen for the Hurricanes. I think he's a very good fit for them. Long-term Kilinik for the Chicago Blackhawks. Laugh for the Rangers on the portraits. Couture for the Sharks. Matthews and Marner's on the black checklist canvas. Volano for the Red Wings. But yeah, they could use a few, like, they could use a lot. They do need to retool their lineup. And, like, I think a lot of people are just like, well, if they trade JT Miller for draft picks, that's a sign of rebuilding. A lot of people tend to forget. And, like, this goes from hockey media to even, I would argue, GMs, that, like, you can trade draft picks for players. Happens all the time. And, like, you know, that's one of the best way to poach talent from teams is if a team's up against the cap, they can always take draft picks. They can't always take good players even if they're cheap or cheaper because they might be so close to the cap. So draft picks are like a premium asset in that regard. I think they're overvalued. I think it's weird. I think draft picks are overvalued in terms of like their actual value and their relation to turning into an NHLer, especially like 2nd, 3rd, 4th round picks. Because, like, trading a 3rd round pick or even a 2nd round pick, honestly, for a good 3rd line forward isn't a bad thing. Trading a late 1st for a good 3rd line forward, it's more likely that you're probably going to get, well, it's, like, probably pretty equal that you'll get the same value out of the players. But, like, that late 1st round pick isn't going to help your team when you're wanting to win. So, like, when you're wanting to win now. Unless you, like, hit the lottery, literally, with the player. But I think teams are a little bit too hesitant to trade their picks, but they also don't, like, they're also still extremely valuable. Because they are essentially cash. So, oh yeah, I love the black checklist. Those are a really nice Easter egg insert this year. So, patch ready for Vegas. Samuelson for the Sabres. Stützle for Ottawa. Kinnan for the Avs. Bobrovsky for the Panthers on the electromagnetic gold. Tice Thompson for the Devils. Pavelski for the Stars. And a big young gun in this box. Velarde for the Kings. Kane for Chicago. Zach Jones for the Rangers. That's a solid one. Not high valued right now, but I think long term will be a good bet. Veal on the French young gun for the Sharks. Kind of one of those beloved type players. And debut dates of Suter for Chicago. That was who's our best young gun there? Jones? I guess Jones and Veleno. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah. Not the worst, not the best, but we get 6, right? 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yep. Yeah, it's like the Canucks need to kind of. They need to move their early 30s to late 30s players and just get whatever they can get back to create cap space because they're going to be in tough. Like, you're not going to move Ekman Larson. Especially at his cap at 47. Let's go with 76. Ooh, it's 49. Wow. But, like, you know, I think if you can move Tyler Myers, it's like even just to clear cap space, it might be a good thing to explore. So it'll be interesting to see how they handle it. Because, like, again, back to the whole draft pick stuff, like, you know, you take the draft picks that you get in a trade, even if it's like a JT Miller trade and all you get is picks, you can turn around and trade those picks. You can trade them for players from cap trap teams. You can trade them for players from teams that don't really want them, you know, that don't want certain young players. And that's how you find players in, like, Pedersen and Hughes' age group to kind of, like, really load up and go. So you essentially make your bets with them at the NHL level. But, like, and I know it's weird because it's something that I was, like, somewhat critical of, you know, bending over. But, like, I think some of his bets with second-round picks weren't the worst. I mean, Berchi was solid. Provided, like, if you get a player like Sven Berchi for a couple of years, especially when your team's trying to be competitive, that's fine. Like, he was fine. Honestly, I think he was better than some of the players on the roster. It's just his contract prevented him from being up type of thing. So, Backlund for the Flames. Alsling for the Senators. Pastrnak for the Bruins. O'Reilly for the Blues. But you got to be really careful with who you're targeting too, right? Hanifin on the clear cut for the Flames. You don't just want to target, like, the pure reclamation products. Peel on for the Capitals. Like, you want to target players that have good underlying numbers and good results. So, Capo Kakinen for the Wild. Hoglander for the Canucks. And you also want to target, like, Bergeron for the Bruins. Players who are playing down in the lineup a little bit more. Drysdale for the Ducks. There's a good one. Should be Benoit's coming up. Obviously, like, those are kind of self-explanatory, but, you know, they need to use them smarter. Stamkos for the Lightning, and, like, take advantage of teams that are capped out. Malcolm for the Penguins, because you're never going to, like, if you just try to make fair trades, you're never going to be ahead, really. So, I mean, you know, if you were to tell someone that the return for JT Miller was 3 second-round draft picks and a third-line forward, like a bottom 6 forward, they'd be like, oh, that's really low for JT Miller. But, I mean, if you look in the past 2 years, you had a first-line winger go for a second and a bottom six forward in Buchnevich. And that's a trade that I think the Canucks should have been all over, by the way, rather than the Garland one. Don't get me wrong, I like Connor Garland. That Buchnevich trade was phenomenal. Just insane value. And you had Devontae's go for 2 seconds. Like, those are the types of trades that, like, the Canucks need to be looking into and, like, actively trying to do. Every team, for that matter. And then you put in, like, your depth is, you know, cheap filler options. Because you look at what they signed Pullman for and his performance, and granted he's been injured, but you look at him compared to, like, Brad Hunt or Kyle Burrows, and honestly, like, both Hunt and Burrows are, I'd put slightly above Pullman, and the contract's just the difference, right? So they got to be very, very careful with what they do. They can't commit too much money in term, because they could end up in trouble if they do that again. But they have a good core. Like, they have the right pieces in their core. Pettersson, Hughes, Demko, you got a good core there. I like Höglander. I like Podkolzin. Yeah. Chuck for the Senators. Tyce Thompson for the Devils. I think Höglander is going to be one of those breakout players in the next couple of years. Dahlin for the Sabres. Ehlers for the Jets. Lankinen for Chicago on the gold rookie retrospective. I think, like, similar to there's Benoit for the Ducks. Similar to Jesper Bratt. I think that's a fairly similar profile. Hellebuck for the Jets. Rookie retrospective of Velarde for the Kings. Tavares for the Leafs. Cates for the Flyers. Gallagher for the Habs on the French. And a Hundo P of Kachuk for the Flames. But yeah. And then the playoffs are getting started soon. I mean, Vegas is all but eliminated. I'm not going to lie, I'm kind of disappointed with the lack of playoff races this year. It's really, the East in particular, like, it's been over since, like, January. Which has been kind of, like, not very entertaining because there's no real good storylines outside of how good will Florida be? Will the Leafs blow a 5-goal lead? 23, so let's go with 73. Oh, it's 34. But yeah. I want to see a little bit more. I know a lot of people have brought up, like, the NHL should do the play-ins, and honestly, yeah, they probably should. Make it a little bit more entertaining. Box 5 here. Then, okay. Nothing great, nothing horrible. Just kind of in the middle. We haven't hit either of the big 2 young guns. We hit a Drysdale or Chanot and Knight. This is a thin pack here. It's probably just like a young gun on the front. Yeah, it's a young gun on the front. And this is probably the extra base cards from that pack. Because it is thicker. Hit so far 1 French variation for our young guns. We need 1 more. Our clear cut should have about 4 jersey cards left. And then a clear cut insert. Be nice to get like a clear Hicks or something like that. Velarde for the Kings. Couturier for the Flyers. Stamkos for the Lightning. Walcott for the Lightning. Pavelski for the Stars. Marner for the Leafs. French variation of Robinson for the Blue Jackets. Ellis for the Predators. Middleton for the Avs. Kane for Chicago. Petrangelo on the Pink Dazzlers for Vegas. Bryson for the Sabres. I think we've doubled up on a couple of young guns, but that's about it. Yeah, let me know what your playoff predictions are. I mean, it pretty much should be straightforward. I do want to see them go back to 1 versus 8 as well. Because I think some of the matchups, like St. Louis, Minnesota in round 1's kind of not a great matchup. And they're honestly, like, the NHL's not really getting rivalries out of it. Like, they're not getting any more rivalries than what they would have just by leaving it in the regular format. Like, you know, rivalries happen when 2 good teams go against each other. And, like, even, like, the second and third round. Like, the NHL playoffs for me, it's like, generally speaking, the first round's the best, and after that, it kind of, like, dies off. I'd really like to see that kind of change. I don't know if I'm just the only one, but it's like, it does seem like it like goes round 1's good, round 2's kind of the worst of it for whatever reason, and then like even the conference finals sometimes can be like whereas like before it's just like, you know, generally the best teams roll through, and that's what I want to see. I hate seeing like a 3 seed face like a 5 seed in round 1, right? I mean, you could technically have the second and third best team in that conference face up against each other, because that's just how it's set up. We haven't done a Young Gun canvas yet, so here's our first one. Pinto for the Senators. Veal for the Sharks. Leonard for Vegas. Be interested to see what happens with him in Vegas. Romanov for the Habs. Don't think he's very happy. Burakovsky. It's like a Capital sweater. That could be Avs, but for the Avs. There's a Caulfield for the Habs. Took a while, but got one finally. There we go. There we go. Recenter him. Lashinsky for the Flyers on the Young Guns. O'Reilly for the Blues. Pavelski for the Stars. Patterson for the Canucks. Gustafson for the Senators. And Knight for the Panthers. I think that one goes there now. Yeah, nice Caulfield. Let me look at the corners closer. It's tiny. Like, being really picky, the corners aren't the best, but like, or it's actually the edges more than the corners on this, but it's one of the better ones that I've seen, so. All right. Halfway point here. 34 is the box number. Let's go with 53. Actually, no, 40. 40 is what we're choosing here. Is Patterson greater than Matthews? It's 15. Here we go. Yeah, I mean, the Drysdale box wasn't horrible, but yeah, this is the first real, like, that was the first real good box. Like, this year's very, I wouldn't say, I mean, yeah, it's kind of hit or miss, but it's like that in Series 1, right? Like, you're hunting for 1 or 2 young guns, and, you know, if you hit them, you're really good, but if you don't, you don't. Yeah, I mean, like, you're gonna get some not great boxes in there, obviously. It has been quiet. We haven't hit anything super special yet, so that doesn't help either. But, like, the first box that had the Knight and the Zegris Dazzlers and Zegris, the Zegris Honor Roll probably isn't horrible. Like, again, it might not be close to the box price. Yeah. Oh, yeah, like, again, like, that's the thing with sports cards, right? Like, not every box is gonna, and, like, it's fairly rare for boxes to give you full value. Like, legitimately speaking, the only products that really, like, did that for a while was, like, Prism Basketball during the boom, but then you couldn't find it, and prices went crazy. And, like, Team Canada Juniors. But only on release if there's, like, a Bedard or Crosby or McDavid level player in Juniors, because you sell those right away and you're happy. So, alright, here we go. Nelson for the Islanders. Bobrovsky for the Panthers. Hedman for the Lightning. Rantanen for the Rangers. Hurdle for the Sharks. Dazzlers. Keith for Chicago. Olofsson for the Sabres. Michaelis for the Canucks. Varlamov for the Islanders. Kopitar for the Kings. Cousins and Darlene on the Clear Cut Foundations. I mean, again, Series 1 and Series 2 are, like, your best bang for your bucks, but, yeah. Inserts and stuff, yeah. Can be tougher. Keen for the Canes, like, again, if every box was worth the box price or over, the box price would go up. If, you know, the best card was only worth the price of a box, like, yeah. So, it's one of those weird ones where, like, it just comes down to what people value, because, like, honestly, to print the cards and stuff, I don't doubt that it costs a decent amount of money. Especially shipping and quality control and licensing and all that. So. Actually, let's put this there. That goes in the kind of case hitty. Yeah. All right. Clear Cut Foundations are the ones that are always kind of, I think it's just fatigue with that set. Like, because, yeah, like, I was getting them for, like, really cheap at certain points. And it's because, like, the players aren't rookies and stuff like that. But they're one that always strikes me as kind of being weird because they're case hits. And, like, but people just don't collect them type of thing. They're really cool. It's just people don't want them as much as other stuff. So that's why their value's low. I do think they could move on from the Clear Cut Foundations set. I get why they have it, but it is tough when, like, you're, like, there's typically 2 or 3 specific players that, like, you see over time on them, right? And then otherwise they're not as great. Prosvedov for the Yotes on the Young Gun canvas. Cole Lind for the Canucks. Why is nobody taking Cole Lind? Gaudreau for the Flames. Ty Smith for the Devils. Saros for the Predators. Good. Again, good player. And there's a Zegras, so here we go. That's a good one. Wrong sleeve. Yeah, there's a good one. How are the corners? Corners are fine. Again, your biggest problem might be edges on it. Yeah, I'd say your right and top edge are your biggest edge. Maybe your bottom right corner, but yeah. That's the thing, right? Like, in order for a card to be worth more than the others, like, other cards have to be, unfortunately, worth less. So, Rantanen for the Avs. You know, it's a paper stock market. That's how I like to describe it. Joseph for the Penguins. New Hook for the Avs. This one's rough on the edge, just as a heads up. Ritzelainen for the Sabres. This is a good box. Falk for the Blues on the French variation, and Lankinen for Chicago. But yeah, like some of the inserts and stuff, like they just aren't worth a lot unless it's the right player, and that's just because there's a lot of them made and there's not a big enough demand for them. So, all right, halfway point. Let me move the insert stack away. Here we go. 42 on the box number, so we're going to go with, it was in the 4s last time, it was a 4. So let's go with 40. Let's just go with 40. No, 41. Let's do 41. Oh, it was 45. Should have gone with that. I was going to say maybe it'll be like 45 or something, but I was close. That's my closest one yet. I think I've only got that right once. Which, I mean, to be fair, we've probably opened up 100 boxes when I've been doing it, so statistically, somewhat likely. I mean, I would have to say the same number, but then again, it's still, yeah. All right. So we got a Zegras, we got a Caulfield, we got Drysdale, we got a Knight, Jeannot. We need a Swayman. Swayman would be nice. Seems like a short pack. Yeah, it is. Ooh, that's an exclusives, but it's a base exclusives. I think, yeah, it's got to be a base exclusives. Well, they are rare, so. And we're pulling like one exclusives at the most per case, so. I do miss the way the cases were structured in the past. Like, I get it, but I like the, you know, two exclusives, one Young Gun exclusive. Actually, I think it was 3 and 1 Young Guns exclusives per case. Essentially. Veleno for Detroit on the rookie portraits. First time we've pulled that, I feel like. McMichael for the Capitals on the debut dates. Teravainen for the Hurricanes. Nemesnikov for the Red Wings. Ooh, clear cut and exclusives in the same box with Drysdale Young Guns for the Ducks. This is a good little box. In terms of rarities. It's pretty solid. Hints for the Stars. Connor for the Jets. Foot for the Devils. Here we go. Pearson for the Canucks to 100 on the exclusives. Well, you know what? We'll sleeve and top load it just because they're really rare. And because he turned it around. Tanner Pearson had a very, very, very good year. Never been his biggest fan, but Kierstead for the Panthers. But he had a real, like, he was one of the better Canucks forwards this year. So, Connor for the Jets. Robertson for the Stars. Again, not worth a ton, but like rare and cool. Second half of this this box should have a Benoit. It should have a French. But in terms of like rarities in the box, it's been a rare box. Few more packs to go. Wow, we are making some good time on this, by the way. Almost done 50 minutes in with a longer intro than normal. Love to see it, love to see it. Here we go. Bear Brûlé for the Lightning. Marner for the Leafs. Kalia for the Kings. Suzuki for the Habs. Akin for the Bruins. And there's your usual Benoit for the Ducks. Cousins for the Sabres. Matthews for the Leafs. Pastrnak for the Bruins. Kelly for the Senators. Tarasenko for the Blues on the French variation. Heiskanen for the Stars. We have pulled one high gloss in all of our cases. It was... Who was it? Wasn't memorable. It wasn't like a major player. I feel like it was like Sagan or someone, or it was I feel like it was a Dallas Stars. Yeah, Sagan. I think 46, so box number. We're gonna go with 40 again. Actually, it was always higher. Let's go 49. I think it, yeah, because like we pulled a clear cut exclusives, and it was Kudobin, and I know our clear cut exclusives and our high gloss have been the same team. So, high glosses are to 10. They are to 10. Oh, it's 48. I was off by 1. Dang it. So they're the toughest card outside of plates. We've actually pulled more plates than high glosses. Which is, when you just think about that for a second, that's kind of weird. We pulled a Young Gun. We've actually pulled a Young Gun canvas plate. And plates are, I mean, they're technically 1-of-1s, but they're also, some people treat them as out of 4. I love plates. Plates are one of like my, I get why people don't like them, but they're they're a card that I think should be valued higher than what they are. Because they're metal. No, just because they're very unique. Yeah, in like previous years, you used to see a high gloss like every, I'd say, 3 cases. 3 to 5, something like that. Actually, it might have even used to been like 1 per case type of thing. Or close to. clear cut. Maybe it's our young gun. Maybe it's our clear cut young gun. Middleton for the Avs. Kessel for the Yotes. Yeah, high glosses are numbered to 10. Barkov for the Panthers. They're really, really tough to pull, obviously. Point for the Lightning. Cam York for the Flyers. Riley for the Leafs. Dahlin for the Sabres. Zahorna for the Penguins on the Young Gun canvas. Burrows for the Avs on the Young Guns. Mantha for Washington. Robertson for the Leafs. Jackson Cates for the Flyers on the clear-cut Young Gun. Not who you want to see, but he's our clear-cut Young Gun for the case. We did have one case with 2. Maybe we'll get another case with 2. But yeah, definitely not who you want to see there. All right. Second half. So this way, when the Young Gun clear cut doesn't get a stand, it's not good. But who knows? Maybe he'll turn it around eventually. Like turn it around and become like a, like have like a 180 switch and be like really good. It's doubtful, but it's possible. Here's a jersey card. So we should probably have, after this jersey card, 2 more left. So 1 French Young Gun, our Young Gun canvas black. That's honestly like really about it for the special hit. It's been really quiet. Really, really, really quiet. All right. Here we go. Foot for the Devils. Shen for the Blues. Ukko-Pekka Luukkonen for the Sabres. That's one of the bigger ones we were missing. Glad to see UPL make a return. I'm just glad we got both a Zegras and a Caulfield so far. It is nice when you always get, like when you get the top ones. Robertson for the Stars. Robertson for the Stars. Ooh, we got a numbered portraits here. Kyle Connor for the Jets, number to 250. The black and white portraits. 64 of 250. So, hey, we got a second numbered card. In the... No, the exclusives is in the last box, but... Let's even topple that. It's rare. Fabry for the Red Wings on the game jersey. Hauser for the Sabres on the Young Guns. Comtois for the Ducks on the electromagnetic. Eichel for the Sabres on the honor roll. Pasenchuk for the Sharks. I need to look up how to pronounce his name again. I forget it. French variation of Gibson for the Ducks. Alright, what box number is this? 86. Let's go with 92. It is 18. Yeah, it's been... I mean, I'd like to see us hit a Swayman. Would be very nice to see a Swayman get hit. Pinto, I don't think we've hit yet. Who else have we hit? about it. I don't think we've hit a Ross Colton yet. Yeah, it's been pretty quiet. I'd like to see the case pick up a little bit here. And if you're looking for break spots again, there's 7 left at least at the start of the break. For tomorrow's Ultimate Mixer, it's 4 hobby of extended from last year, 1 of Series 1 from this year, 1 of Series 2 from last year, and 2 Ultimate. Obviously from this year, that just released a couple weeks ago. Here we go. Patterson French for the Canucks. Stützle for the Senators. Larkin for the Red Wings. Drysdale, that's our 3rd Drysdale for the Ducks. I mean, like, hey, if you're going to triple up on one, he's not a bad one to triple up on. Should also mean we're getting a 3rd Benoit here. Kaprizov for the Wild. Nedeljkovic for the Canes. Newhook for the Avs on the Dazzlers. He's kind of just there now. Suzuki for the Habs. The Leafs checklist for the Canvas. Matthews and Marner. Pilon for the Capitals. Panarin for the Rangers. And Byram for the Avs. Yeah, it's like Swayman that's kind of... Swayman and Pinto. That I'd like to see. I think we have a Canvas Black coming up here. We do still need a Young Gun Canvas Black. Maybe we can pull a Zegras one. Or Swayman. Or Pinto. Or Byfield. It's been a pretty, like, we got 2 numbered cards, which is nice. We've hit our clear cut and our clear cut Young Guns and our clear cut insert. But I still think our first case is going to go down as like our best case. It had the Zegras canvas, it had the Knight clear cut, the Ekblad clear picks. It was just a solid case. Young Gun Canvas is Brett Murray for the Sabres. Not who you want to see, unfortunately. Unless you have Buffalo, then yeah, you want to see him, but... There's an all-same for the Senators. Holtby for the Canucks. We shouldn't have a Canvas Black left. Norris for the Senators. The last few boxes have me kind of curious. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yep, O'Reilly for the Blues. Pasichnuk for the Sharks. Verana for the Red Wings. Ottinger for the Stars. Young Gun Canvas of Gustafson for the Senators. And there's your Benoit for the Ducks. Connor for the Jets. And a Hundo P of Deneau for the Habs. Deneau for the Habs on the Hundo P. Alright. 17 on the box number. We'll go with... We haven't really had any inners in the 6s. We'll go with 64. With Nintendo. It's 91. Alright. 3/4 of the way through. Let's hope for a spicy end, because honestly this case has been lackluster. And I thought about doing a pick your team for a case of Series 1, but it's just I've said it before, but with like how inconsistent the Young Guns are, I don't feel comfortable doing it just because the Ducks and Habs would have to take up a lot of the case price, and like if you don't get that Young Gun, that is going to be the worst feeling in the world. So this case needs something spicy. It's been really quiet. It needs some spice. I don't care what it is. It just needs some spice. Barkov for the Panthers. Barron for the Rangers. Haven't hit him yet, so that's a good sign. French variation of Kuznetsov for the Capitals. Bergeron for the Bruins on the Hundo P. Draisaitl for the Oilers. Dune for Columbus. Kessel for the Yotes. Renton for the Avs. Ty Smith for the Devils on the retrospective gold. Allison for the Flyers. Perron for the Blues. Ottinger for the Stars. Yeah, this has just been a quiet case. It's just been... I mean, if you have the Ducks, you're happy. I mean, if you have the Habs, you're happy. Panthers, you're probably okay. Bruins, you're a little bit worried. Sabres, you're fine. Sharks, you did what you expected, and a little bit of a bonus, but yeah. We should still... Do we still have a French left? I think we still have a French left. French Young Gun. That might be our saving grace for the case. Give us, like, a good French Young Gun. It's been real quiet. Couple packs, there we go. Another Young Gun canvas at least. A good Young Gun canvas would go a long ways here as well. So, but I need something. Like, it's just been quiet. I know I've said that so much in the past, like, 30 minutes, but it really just, it's all that comes to mind with the case. It needs something. Kaprizov for the Wild. Darling for the Sabres. Suitor for the Wild on the canvas black. I think we might have got an extra one. There's Swayman for the Bruins. So there we go. There's one of the big ones off the list. Kind of the last like major one, right? Because we hit Knight, we hit Drysdale, we hit Valeno, we hit a Segrist, we hit a UPL, we hit a Jeannot. We haven't hit Pinto. It's the only other one. Shattenkirk for the Ducks. Sorokin for the Islanders. Aho for the Hurricanes. Stundichka for the Devils. JT Miller for the Canucks. Barkov for the Panthers on the Hundo P. And, well, hey, there's a Swayman Young Gun canvas. So here you go, Boston. You're sweating it out. That's the first time we've hit that. Oh, we'll stand that. Honestly, we need the third stand up there. That might give us a little bit of luck. Peterson for the Yotes. We haven't had a checklist yet. That was a much better box. Double Swayman is pretty solid. I didn't even guess the box number. It was 46 and 43. I would have guessed a 40, but I might have actually gone 3 higher there too, because it's been 3 higher consistently. All right, here we go. Box 11. See if we can get something spicy. Last box was a good start. Rolling here. Some more packs in this half. There we go. All right. Here we go, box 11. Hundo P Gold of Yossi for the Predators. Veal for the Sharks. Ekblad for the Panthers. Couture for the Sharks. Marc-Andre Fleury for Vegas. Well, there's another Swayman. You had to wait a while to get one, but now you got 2. Had to sweat it out, but then you got 2 in a canvas in back-to-back boxes. So Bruins are just like, yeah, we're good. We're good. Just have to make us sweat a little bit longer. But Darlene for the Sabres. We haven't hit a Young Gun checklist yet. Pavelski for the Stars. Mantha for the Capitals. Kupari for the Kings. Ovechkin for the Capitals. And Hall for the Bruins. There's a jersey card. I was going to say we're due for a jersey card or two. wouldn't be shocked if the last box is like French Young Gun jersey starters are two like wild card hits. Alright, almost done this half. That's another Young Gun canvas. Again, those can save us here. Those can save us. Zibanejad for the Rangers on the jersey card. How many do we have? We have 4. Kalinick for Chicago. Lindholm for the Flames. Larkin for the Red Wings. Marner for the Leafs. Keane for the Hurricanes. Connor for the Jets. Kaprizov for the Wild. Young Gun canvas is Colin for the Canucks. Jeannot for the Predators. Hey, that's a decent box. Jeannot and Swayman. I'd take that. Hughes for the Devils. And Krasnov, sorry, for the Rangers. I almost said Kaprizov, but just because I see the K and the V at the end, it's like, oh, that's Kaprizov. All right, final box. I mean, the past couple boxes have been better. It would be nice to get a banger. All right, so box number 12. Let's go with 99. Let's go with 99. Oh, it's 97. I went with the wrong order. Close. I had some close calls on the box numbers today. Had some close calls. All right. Hope for good luck here. And let's try to end on a good note. I like Young Gun canvas. I feel like we might have overhit Young Gun canvases. We should still have a French Young Gun left. In theory. In theory, we have a French Young Gun left. Because we've only hit one, right? Yeah, we've only hit the one. Alright, here we go. Last first half of the break. Well, there's that. Ehlers for the Jets. Suzuki for the Habs. Gensel for the Penguins. Zegras for the Ducks. Zegras, you doubled up. Anaheim had a heck of a break. 3 Drysdales. 2 Zegras. Robertson for the Stars on the Dazzlers. Byram for the Avs on the debut dates. Tyce Thompson for the Devils. I think we pulled his portrait or his plate before we pulled that exact one. Here's a checklist between Caulfield and Zegras. So that'll be a random. Montreal and Anaheim. Caulfield on the rookie portraits for the Habs. There we go. This is a good box to end it. Vancheck for the Capitals. Another Young Gun Canvas Black of Kalinick for Chicago. I mean, hey, getting 2 in one case is pretty rare. I was going to say it feels like we have more than what we should have got, but we've only ever, like, it's been so consistent. We've only ever got 1 per case, so. And Bear Boulay for the Lightning. So, hey, spicy box to end it. And not a good Young Gun Canvas by any means, but it's still a Young Gun Canvas Black. Still a case hit. You take it. You take it. But a Zegras Young Gun Canvas Black. I mean, the checklist isn't great, but it still counts. Not a bad. The final 3 boxes are pretty solid, so. The Caulfield Portraits is nice too. It's just a random. So what we'll do after is we'll random it 3 times on random.org. If it were like pulled earlier in the break, I would have given the whole spiel on it, but essentially for like Young Gun checklist in particular, if we pull 2 of them, both people get 1 because that's just, it's a 50-50 and there's no point in doing the random at that point. Both people are happy getting 1. If we pulled like a French one, I mean, we can still pull a French one or like a rare parallel one, and the base one, we do the random. The winner gets the better one, the loser gets the other one. If we just pull the 1 though, it's just a random. Whatever team's on top after 3 times gets it. So pretty straightforward. Here's Hopkins for the Oilers. Ross Colton for the Lightning. McDavid for the Oilers on the portraits. Should have a French Young Gun still, but we might not get one. Burns for San Jose. Ooh, we have another numbered card. Varlamov on the Honor Roll Rainbow to 250. Not who you want to... Like, honestly, probably one of the worst players to get from the Honor Roll set. But, whatever. It's a numbered card. Can't complain too much. Lashinsky for the Flyers. Rust for the Penguins. Kaya for the Kings. Quinn Hughes for the Canucks. Kelly for the Senators. French variation of Foligno for the Wild. So yeah, no Young Gun French. And Stutzler for the Senators. So that is it. We got the 1 random to do at the end here. And then, yeah. We got spots left in tomorrow's break. And then that's about it. So let me get the base cards put away here. We'll do a recap after we do the random. So here we go. So we'll do it 3 times. Team on top gets it. Let me get it set up here. Montreal's left. Montreal, Anaheim. Here we go, 3 times. Team on top gets it. Once. Twice. 3rd time, Montreal takes the checklist. Where is it? Go. So that is the break. It goes with Montreal. Put away. In terms of like young guns and stuff that we hit 1 Jeannot, 2 Swayman. I think we hit 3 Zegrises, or no, we hit 2 Jeannot, sorry. 2 Swayman, 1 UPL, 1 Knight, 3 Zegrises, or sorry, 3 Drysdales, 2 Zegris, 1 Caulfield, a Swayman Canvas. And then in terms of like other special hits, we only hit for 4 jersey cards in this case, but we hit Honor Roll Gold to 250 of Varlamov, 2 Young Gun Canvas Blacks. These are actually tough to, like, they're typically 1 per case, but neither are great, so it's whatever. Connor for the Jets and the Black and White Portraits to 250. Our clear cut, which Jackson Cates, we hit an exclusives of Pearson. Only 1 French, which was Veal for San Jose, and a clear cut foundation. So, yeah. Anyways, that wraps up the break. So, again, wasn't the strongest. It came on in the end there. Actually, the end was really good. So, wasn't the strongest, wasn't the weakest. Kind of like a mid-range case. You know, some good, some bad. If we hit some different players, it would have been a lot better. But, anyways, busy. Thanks again. Glad you enjoyed it. So, yeah, we'll be back tomorrow. I think there were 7 spots left. Actually, let me just get a quick little count there. But I think there are 7 spots left. So, in the first break, and then we got a triple up, 4-box triple up. There's 6 left now in that break. But we got a triple up after that of Series 2 from last year. So, gonna be a fun night tomorrow as well. I'll see you then. Take it easy. And yeah, have a good night.